Arts Educational Studies in Elementary Education from St. James, Missouri. So please join me in welcoming Eric.
Well, Jeff and Scott encourage us to be who we are, so I'm already going off script. I can't wait to hear from them about that. That being said, I want to encourage every student who couldn't make it yesterday or earlier today, obviously the half of us that are here were mostly not here earlier today, to hear our other graduate speakers from this year and even years prior. Troy, Andrea, who's sitting up front, and we've got Ron and Indranil. They all knocked it out of the park, making my job very difficult. So please watch their speeches if you happen to miss them at all. I also want to give a shout out to students that we're missing that would want to be here today, particularly Meli Resendez Perez, Ende Sek, and Vanessa Boone. All three of which are just examples of many students who, either because of family obligations, health, or otherwise, couldn't be here. So I just want you guys to know that you are here with us in spirit. With that, if you'll let me continue on, we'll actually follow the script now. I have a favorite WGU shirt. I've worn it for many of a study session, and it reads, WGU, 25 years, a tradition of breaking tradition. I am non-traditional. As you heard, my name is Eric Miller, and I'm a counted cross-stitching male postpartum nurse. I'll say that again so it can really sink in. I am a counted cross-stitching, you can Google that if you want, but not right now, male postpartum nurse. My career is non-traditional. I have the honor of caring for mothers and their babies, their families, in some of the most powerful moments of their lives. Out of 128 nurses that staff our high-risk birthplace center, I am one of only 2 male nurses working in a woman's world, caring for and working alongside powerful, inspiring women. My hobbies are equally non-traditional. As I said before, I cross-stitch. I was raised by a single mother who often joked that although I would not be able to change the oil in a car, still can't to this day, I would be able to cross-stitch, and I still can to this day. I use that to create portraits of my children, my family, and even my favorite moment from my favorite football team. I mean, if that's not the most unmasculine way to celebrate masculinity, I don't know what is. My other non-traditional hobby, running. Oh, Eric, running is traditional, I can hear you thinking. Not the way I do it. My distance of choice is the half marathon. For those of you that don't know, that is 13.1 miles. For those of you who do, you also know it's a pain in the rear to run that far, and the legs, and the lungs, and the feet. In the 9 years since I've picked up running, I've run 87 half marathons. 22 last year, 25 in 2020 alone, and the 87th just came 6 days ago. Every time I did so, I dedicated it to an individual or a group who impacted my life in some way, including 2 different halves dedicated to you, my WGU family, during one of which I wore my aforementioned favorite WGU shirt. So it only stands to reason that I would chase my master's degree in an equally non-traditional manner. I've been a nurse for 16 years now. I've long contended that I want to teach nursing students when I grow up. Last year, I looked in a mirror, noticed a little bit of gray in the beard starting to pop through, so I decided that it must mean it's time to grow up. I looked at multiple universities and fortunately rediscovered WGU. And because of WGU's non-traditional model, and with the support of my mentors, including Sarah Lynn Harrelson, who couldn't be here today, my course instructors, Drs. Kathy Holloway, Lynn Kane, Ron Carpio, Becky Feather, as well as many others, my preceptor, Allie Willard, my current nursing students, of which I am teaching whilst trying to get my master's degree, 2 different cohorts from Wazoo in pediatrics, go Cougs, and most importantly, last but not least, no, I wasn't going to do this, my family. My wife was like, you cried when you practiced, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did. She goes, you're going to cry when you're up there, aren't you? I said, yeah, probably. My wife, Jenna, and my wonderful children, Owen, Amelia, Peyton, and Ava. Thank you. And while working 2 jobs, I obtained my master's degree in nursing education in 9.5 months. Much like my running, faster than some, slower than many. But enough about me. It's time to talk about you now. I guarantee I know something about every single person who can hear the sound of my voice. Don't believe me? I can sum you up in 3 words. You are non-traditional. For those sitting in the stands and watching online, that's what I'm talking about. You supported us non-traditional dream chasers. For those on this stage, and those of you employed by WGU who are not here today, I can't thank you enough for allowing this boy to earn his dream, to chase his dream, and all of us for the opportunity to chase our dreams in a non-traditional manner. And to my peers, my fellow night owls, each and every one of you who's wearing a cap and gown today, it doesn't matter what degree program you're representing and celebrating here today, you know how non-traditional you are. Whether it's stealing an hour away here or there like me, or like me, taking marathon research and writing sessions that last 12, 16, and yes, even one 18-hour session to finish the final paper of my final class, you are the very definition of non-traditional. So let me ask you, fellow night owls, who inspired you? Whose influence, inspiration, and example helped to bring you here today? For me, those 87 half marathons wouldn't exist if not for the running of 1 half marathon by one person, my lovely wife's one and only bucket list half marathon. Yeah, you can see the picture I married up, that's for sure. I don't want you guys being distracted like, how did he marry her? That's crazy. My 3rd grade teacher, Mr. Has, also my personal hero. I'll never forget him walking into class on the first day with his big old glasses, white lab coat, and curly hair saying, my favorite number is 14, pronouncing it just like that. To this day, I have no idea why. But the answer may be because he taught in the most non-traditional of ways, creating a lasting impact on me and as literally hundreds, over 1,000 students over decades of teaching. It's because of people like my lovely wife and Mr. Has, and the people that you know, that we are here today, degree in hand. Now, my fellow night owls, I have an even more important question for you, and I ask that you close your eyes as I ask it, just for a moment. How will you, non-traditional dream chasers, impact the future? Keep your eyes closed, listen to the rain, as you visualize how you will inspire your future students, your future patients, your peers, your coworkers. I promise you right now, you already inspire people just by being here, by achieving what you achieved. How will you inspire all of these future people to be better than they are? That, my fellow night owls, is an impact that can echo beyond this moment, beyond your careers, and hopefully beyond the years of your lives. It is my exhortation today that we continue to be non-traditional. We're celebrating here 20 miles away from our nation's capital, where a group of individuals some 250 years ago birthed a radically non-traditional form of government that not only continues to have impact on you and on me today, but has had global ramifications for 2.5 centuries. So when we leave here, let us be the sources, the non-traditional sources of inspiration to others, to those we have the blessing of interacting with, and to provide for a world desperately in need of inspiration, that very inspiration. And who knows, someone you may barely know or may never meet at all will be standing or sitting here decades from now, echoing our influence, our inspiration, and our example, continuing our fine university's non-traditional tradition. Congratulations, class of April 2023, and thank you for hearing me blather on.